true power ultimately lies with the electorate. It is the electorate that decides which party or candidate comes to power. Looking at the complexity of the issues involved and the prayer to overrule the judgment rendered by two-judge bench of this court, Subramania Balaji, we direct listing of the set of the petition before the three-judge bench after obtaining the order from the Honorable Chief Justice.
That was the outgoing Chief Justice of India, N.V Ramana, talking on the issue of freebies in Indian politics. The CJI ordered that a three-judge bench must hear the matter related to freebies promised by political parties ahead of elections in view of the issue's complexity. So what is the complexity related to the problem of freebies? The CJI has said that all promises cannot be equated to freebies, as some are also related to welfare schemes for the public good. What is a freebie and what is not? Who decides this, and why is freebie politics considered one of the biggest issues affecting our elections and democracy? Let's unbreak this news. Freebies are those free benefits or perks that political parties dole out to citizens to buy their votes. These perks or benefits are just promised before the elections so that the votes of the citizens can be secured. Freebies could be anything, ranging from, say, gold coins, money, television sets, bicycles, mobile phones, tablets, fans, and mixer grinders, amongst others. Take a look at this speech of Union Home Minister Amit Shah, delivered during the UP elections. In this speech, Amit Shah can be seen promising freebies to the people of Uttar Pradesh if the BJP is voted to power.
मित्रों, मैं बताने आया हूं कि 5 साल एक और मौका दे दीजिए। 5 साल तक उत्तर प्रदेश के किसी भी किसान को बिजली का बिल नहीं भरना है। हम बिजली माफ। हर बच्ची जो 12वीं पास करेगी उसको स्कूटी देने का काम ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी। हर युवा जो इंटर में एडमिशन लेगा, चाहे बेटी हो चाहे बेटा हो, उसको लैपटॉप और स्मार्टफोन देने का काम ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी।
Not just the BJP. Almost all political parties have been at the forefront in India while doling out promises regarding freebies ahead of elections to win votes. Here is the Congress party's Rahul Gandhi just before the general elections in 2019, promising people that his party would deposit 72,000 rupees into the bank accounts of 20% of the country's poor if his party is voted to power.
गरीबी पर वार 72,000 और यह कांग्रेस पार्टी की पहली गारंटी है कि हिंदुस्तान के 20% सबसे गरीब परिवारों को हर महीने उनके बैंक अकाउंट में कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार डायरेक्ट पैसा डालेगी। एक साल में 72,000, 5 साल में 3,60,000।
This is Aam Aadmi Party chief and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal mocking opposition parties for stealing his freebie ideas.
एक नकली केजरीवाल घूम रहा है। मैं जो भी पंजाब में आके वादा करके जाता हूं वो 2 दिन बाद वही बोल देता है। करता नहीं है, नकली है। मैं आया पंजाब में, मैंने कहा हम बिजली फ्री करेंगे, 2 दिन बाद कहता है बिजली फ्री कर दी। यहां इतनी महिलाएं बैठी हैं, जिसकी बिजली का बिल 0 आया है हाथ खड़े कर दो। किसी का बिजली का बिल 0 आया? अभी उनका लुधियाना में भाषण चल रहा था, मैं और भगवंत देख रहे थे उसको। वहां कहता है कि पंजाब में हमने 400 यूनिट बिजली फ्री कर दी। मैं पूरे पंजाब के लोगों से जानना चाहता हूं, अगर पूरे पंजाब में एक भी आदमी का 0 बिजली का बिल आया हो तो मेरे को बता दो।
In 2013, in the S. Subramaniam Balaji versus the state of Tamil Nadu case, the Supreme Court stated that although the law is obvious that the promises in the election manifesto cannot be construed as corrupt practice under Section 123 of the Representation of People's Act, the reality cannot be ruled out that distribution of freebies of any kind undoubtedly influences all people. It shakes the root of free and fair elections to a large degree. The Election Commission through its counsel also conveyed the same feeling both in the affidavit and in the argument that the promise of such freebies at government cost disturbs the level playing field, and vitiates the electoral process. The biggest problem related to freebies is that in India, we don't have a law that regulates freebie politics. In the 2013 case, the court had said it has limited powers to issue directions to the legislature to enact a law on a particular matter. Article 324 of our constitution mandates the Election Commission of India to hold free and fair elections. But year on year, during every election season, we have seen almost all political parties announce freebies to voters. So why are the hands of the judiciary and the Election Commission tied in the matter? Here's the catch. Listen to this latest statement by the outgoing Chief Justice of India, N.V Ramana.
It is also necessary to highlight herein the point raised by some of the interveners that all promises cannot be equated with freebies as they are related to welfare schemes or for the public good. Not only are these issues a part of the directive principles of the state policy, but are also responsibility of the welfare state. At the same time, the worry raised by the petitioners herein that under the guise of electoral promises, physical responsibility is being dispensed with must also be considered.
So the court has basically said that all promises cannot be equated to freebies, as some are also related to welfare schemes for the public good. The question is, who can define what constitutes a freebie? In this case, can the parliament enact a law against freebies? Will our lawmakers who are part of various political parties take the lead and weed out freebie culture from our politics? It is very unlikely. The Election Commission of India too had earlier declined to be part of the expert body proposed to be constituted by the Supreme Court to examine the issues related to the promise of freebies by political parties during elections. Let's be clear on this. Most political parties promise freebies just before an election to induce voters into voting for them. These freebies to bribe voters to secure votes are given from public funds. Because of the freebie culture in our politics, the voter's choice gets manipulated. Freebies can shift the outcome of the elections. It leads to fiscal burden on states and is a recipe for economic disaster. But the Election Commission of India is not keen on deliberating on freebies. The Parliament does not want to pass a law against freebies. Politicians and political parties want to fight tooth and nail against any mechanism to regulate freebies. So the decision of the Apex Court to direct a 3-judge bench to examine the issue of freebies gives a ray of hope to all citizens who want free and fair elections to be conducted in the country. Even after 75 years of independence, it is unfortunate that our political parties want to fight elections not on the plank of governance but on freebies. When it comes to freebies that these parties offer, whose money is it anyway? It is our hard-earned money being used to dole out these freebies to bribe voters. It is but obvious a party that bribes voters to come to power is most unlikely to serve people once in power. And for people who believe in such parties, sooner or later there will be always a cost to pay for such freebies. In this case, democracy is the cost.